Hey, what's up, guys? It's Art Book Addiction here, and we're here to talk about the new Cowboy Bebop trailer, right? It's looking better. It's looking better. So, in the new trailer, we actually get to see some footage of like, people in movement, right? Like, we get to see, like, the actual, the actors in costume acting with each other, right? We get to see the kind of dynamic that's going on. And honestly, it looks a lot better. It looks a lot better. The CGI, which was a big concern for me, actually looks pretty good, right? The sets themselves, and the costumes are still kind of, and it's looking pretty CW, right? It looks exactly what we were like kind of complaining about earlier. Yeah, so. Before we start the video, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, check out my prints and Patreon if you want to support the channel. With all that said, yeah, now let's really talk about this shit, right? I think, like, I have a cautious optimism about the show. Before, I was just like downright like, this show's gonna be shit, right? But now I'm like okay, it's not looking the worst, right? Though I like. Through the trailer, the fears I feel like I had before were kind of confirmed, right? So, like, in my previous video, I was talking about honestly, like, my biggest problem with the show isn't necessarily, like, Jet, being black or anything, or Faye and her actor, or actress, rather, you know what I mean, all that extra stuff, right? For me, the problem with the show is John Cho, right? Who is arguably, like, the most, like, on board, the most, like, passionate about the show, right? It's just because he doesn't really fit the role very well, right? And his take on the character doesn't really fit with who we know as the character, right? So if you're seeing this, you probably watched the trailer yourselves. You'll probably notice that he is very, like, cool guy. Like I had a lover once. Like, it's like that's not Spike, dude. That really isn't him. Okay, and then like they're quipping a lot. They're quipping a lot. That's another problem, right? Because like in the actual show, they have a lot more chemistry, but like they're not so like quippy, you know what I mean? Like, haha, joke, yeah, I'm quirky, you know what I mean? And that's another problem I have with, like, Faye's character, right? It just feels like they don't really understand what the show is. Like, they kind of like roughly watched it, you know what I mean? And like they don't really understand like what Cowboy Bebop was about, right? So, like, maybe that's just the trailer, right? Maybe that's just the trailer, but they're like, oh, season 1, so I'm like, so are they saying, like, there's gonna be a season 2, possibly? I think that's something that they would go for, right? That's totally something they would go for. But they really are missing, like, the kind of themes that are going on, right? But, you know what, like, the music is better, like, the like, not the shots, but like the tone is a lot better than in the opening, right? But does it really match the tone of Cowboy Bebop, the original show? I don't think so. I really don't. Like, the whole point of the show is that the Bebop, right, was kind of like a little, like, purgatory for our characters, right? Like, they're like, they put their lives kind of on hold, right? The things that happened in the past, like, on hold, where they live, on the Bebop, and then they do the missions and everything, but just kind of as a way to kind of pause their lives, right? And like, as the show goes on, like, they, like, their lives, like, come back to, resume, basically, right? And then, like, okay, well, my time on the Bebop is over, right? And they're like, I really feel like they don't understand the dynamic between Spike, Faye, and Jet. Like you know, they would fight with each other, right? Or they would have an argument. But like I don't think they would ever like, you know, point a gun at each other. You know what I mean? Like you know, I guess they're like the first mission. They're like, you know, like Spike's like pointing a gun at Faye, but like I feel like Spike as a character wouldn't really be the type to do that. Like, you know, like you have someone who, like, you know, you have in the ship and you're all like you're like Spike isn't that kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's just like, you know, he would have the confidence to know that, like, you know, well, I have my gun, right? And like I could always like just beat their ass. You know what I mean? Like in a fight, right? So yeah, like I'm telling you, like to me the biggest complaint is John Cho, right? John Cho, he's really not he's going for a cool guy, but Spike is more like lax guy, you know, like I don't know. I guess like one of my friends described him as like very tired, right? Like he's a tired guy, right? Like he's very sleepy, but you know, like he's at rest, right? John Cho doesn't represent that. He's representing like he's like I'm a cool guy with a cool past, but like you don't know about it, right? Also, he looks too old, right? And the hair, like I said before, looks ridiculous. Okay, like he just does not embody Spike Spiegel, right? And they're kind of like changing the story around a bit, right? Where like they're talking about Anna like way too quick, you know what I mean? And it's like you look like a man who has never found love. I used to, you know, and it's like what Spike, like that's not Spike, dude. You know, it's kind of cringe almost, right? Like some of the dialogue, right? And you know, it does look better. I'll give it that. Like the trailer, like to me, looked like just shit, dude. Right? But this does look better. But it's kind of confirming the fears I had. Right? Where the CGI, you know, hey, looks good. Looks pretty good. The music, all right, it's looking better. Right? What do you call it? Jet. You know, being, you know, the new Jet, like he doesn't look too bad. He almost looks like he looks pretty on brand, right? Like actually the most on brand out of all the characters, which is kind of funny because of his, you know, because he's a completely different race, right? But like Faye, she seems too like quirky. You know what I mean? Less femme fatale, more quirky, right? Like she's throwing out jokes, you're like, hey, you know, why do we work together? You know, it's like that's not Faye. You know, Faye, again, like everyone's trying too hard. That to me, that's the issue, right? Everyone's trying too hard. Like these characters, they're intelligent. You know, they've dealt with things, right? They're bounty hunters, so they have a coolness, a laxness, right, to their characters, right? And that's something that was very played up in the show, right? Like every character is not trying to be cool; they are just cool because like they're lax, right? They're like there's the line that was like we're a team now, and they all like fist bump. I'm like, no, they would never do that. Okay, like I don't know. It's like it's like now we're a team, yeah. You know, it's like no, like they would never do that. You know what I mean? And like it's weird because like they do stuff like that, but like it feels like in the show they were way closer, right? They like developed like a much stronger bond, right? Where in this show, it's like oh you go from like oh dude, I'm gonna shoot you, dude, don't you dare, dude, you know, to now we gotta work together, team, yeah, you know. And it's like I don't, it feels like little kid shit, you know what I mean? Like a little kid's rendition of Cowboy Bebop. It doesn't have the mature like space noir tone that we want, right? And like everyone is just like, I don't know, they're trying too hard, man. They're trying too hard. Yeah, but like I said, everything looks better, but the kind of fears that I had are basically confirmed, right? But yeah, that's kind of my reaction to the new one. I'm cautiously optimistic for the show, though the things that I worried about are, like I said, basically confirmed now. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. I would really like to know your reaction, because like I don't know, because like a lot of people are reacting really positively, right? But like, you know, and like, you know, I feel more positive about it, but it's still not like whoa, dude, I gotta watch it now, dude. You know, I don't know, whatever. Just like tell me down below, right? Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe and that like button, all that bullshit. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.